good evening. Startups in the Middle East have been witnessing quite a boom for the past couple of years, according to financial experts. Moreover, over 81% of women entrepreneurs in this region have registered a digital presence for their businesses, which is quite an impressive percentage, according to these experts. Despite this achievement, many challenges still remain, crippling the chances of financial funding opportunities compared to their male counterparts. More on this in the following report.
While women entrepreneurs in MENA are embracing digital presence for their businesses, the gender gap related to financing and credit is still a major challenge, according to numbers released by the Mastercard SME Confidence Index. The index shows that despite over 80% of women entrepreneurs in MENA having strong digital readiness for their businesses compared to 68% of male entrepreneurs, less than 5% of financing goes to women entrepreneurs in MENA, compared to 2 to 10% of financing opportunities for entrepreneurs around the globe. While these numbers are a great credit to our women on our region, showing such a high level of digital awareness and readiness, the need for a boost to increase their access to financing opportunities is greater than ever, if businesses really commit to achieving sustainable growth. The index also shows a positive outlook for businesses across sectors, with retail businesses in the lead.
And so we welcome Amnah Ajmal, Executive VP, Market Development, Middle East and Africa at Mastercard. Thank you for joining us on Stay Online. Amnah, how would you describe or maybe assess the main achievements of female entrepreneurs in our region, specifically in this challenging year?
Thank you, Jessie, and good afternoon, everyone. So, women SMEs are tapping into the massive opportunity that the digital shift presents to their business. At Mastercard, Women SME Confidence Index shows that 81% of the women SMEs have a digital presence for their business, and this is compared to 68% for men. This is very encouraging, and it's a great achievement because it also shows that these women SMEs have the agility, the willingness, and the openness to embrace new technologies that would provide choice and flexibility to their consumers and ultimately providing them with the business growth that they're aspiring for. We also see that the confidence level in doing the business in a more digital way is very high. Our research shows that women SMEs are very comfortable in accepting digital forms of payment as opposed to cash. This is not only a great achievement, but it's very encouraging because these women SMEs would help us build a digital economy.
Amnah, these are good numbers, and though, as you mentioned, it does sound encouraging for the overall picture, but Mastercard's own study said that despite these percentages and achievements for female entrepreneurs, this wasn't necessarily translated into the opportunities to get more financing. So in your opinion, what are maybe the main challenges that women entrepreneurs still have to face in this digital transformation so they can convert these achievements into commercial financial opportunities?
So I would say the challenges are two. One is the access to credit and financing, and the second is data and insights. Data and insights, I would believe, is easier to solve for than access to credit and financing. I think access to credit and financing is not only a challenge that women SMEs face in this part of the world, but it's globally a challenge. I mean, the gap in investment is real and it's huge. We estimate globally that only 2 to 10% of the financing needs go towards the women. In MENA, if alone you look at the region, 40% of the SMEs are women. But less than 5% of the banking finance needs are addressing those women. So the gap is definitely huge, and there's a lot of ways we can address those gaps. And one of the ways that Mastercard is doing their part in this piece is that we are launching a lot of programs across the region that would help SMEs, and not only helping them to get access to financing, but a lot of mentoring and networking programs which would open up these financing possibilities for them. For example, in Pakistan, our program Ignite would open up possibilities for 390,000 SMEs to get access to financing as well as other digital tools for their business. Now, it's very important to understand that COVID, while it impacted all the industries, it heavily impacted the industries where women were dominating those places. For example, retail, salons, hospitality. Now, while women suffered during the COVID and still do, at a personal and professional front, our research shows that they are very optimistic about what the future presents for them. They are ready to tap into this massive digital potential that sits ahead because of the digital transformation that got accelerated due to COVID, which I believe is a great positive sign, and all of us need to work towards to make sure that they tap into these opportunities. Secondly, I would say our research also showed that while women SMEs are there to make money and make sure that the businesses are profitable, they are largely driven by a purpose, and they want to establish and run those businesses by serving the communities. And again, that's a very, very positive sign, a very encouraging sign for all of us to partner together in the ecosystem to help these SMEs get access to the credit.
So the gender gap I mean, we're all aware it's there. There are initiatives, as you have mentioned, studies, rules, and regulations. And despite that, the numbers you have mentioned are starking. What would you say are the gaps that maybe women entrepreneurs should be very focused on before they dive into any new enterprise?
Sure. So I would say three things. First, digital presence. It's a must in today's world. So while many SMEs are transitioning from physical to digital, it's absolutely critical that women SMEs think about digital first. As we talked about earlier, a large number of women SMEs are already embracing the digital presence that are there. We need to make sure the remaining get there. And it's not that hard in today's world. MasterCard has a product called Simplify Commerce. It enables you to set up your entire store online and to have your products and services for your consumers available online. So I think that digital presence is absolutely critical. Second, I would say is that consumers are embracing new technologies at a very fast pace. And it's important to keep that change in mind because consumers are finding new ways to pay, very, very adaptable to those new modes of payment like contactless, QR, tap on phone, biometrics, facial recognition, cryptocurrencies. So it's very important that women SMEs have this roadmap and a plan to make sure that their online presence is accepting all those different forms of payment. Lastly, I would say when you are in a digital world, you want to make sure that you scale without having to risk your business. And the cyber security risk is real. So making sure that you future-proof your business much in advance so that when you scale, you have that peace of mind that you're protected against those risks.
Okay, so you do focus a lot on the digital presence, but I'd like to maybe in my final question get more focus on the equal financing opportunities for these women. How do you think these opportunities can be enhanced?
So let me start by saying that we do live in a world that's designed by men and for men. Every city in this world is designed by a man. In fact, I read somewhere...
Really? We're still there?
In fact, I read somewhere that 90% of the world is actually designed by men. So we do need women SME to design solutions, products, and services because that's the only way we would make the world more balanced and more inclusive. So we at MasterCard totally believe that in order to drive inclusive and sustainable growth, we need to work with all the partners in the ecosystem, be it retailers, fintechs, financial institutions, telcos. Because when we partner together, we're able to drive that inclusive growth, and that's absolutely important. That's why we do have a mission to reach 25 million women entrepreneurs and include them in the digital economy by 2025. And we believe through partnerships, we can get there.
Quite a challenge. Of course, we continue this discussion. Plenty more things to tackle. We can take that conversation on our social media challenge channels. Amnah Ajmal, Executive VP Market Development for Middle East and Africa, MasterCard. Thank you for being our guest this week on Stay Online.
Thank you.